going on, guys? It's Cassidy Crew 4 here. Today we're going to be doing a review on the entire Jaws franchise. As you can see, I got my 4 films here on DVD release, and I know I've been getting quite a big amount of views on my previous Jaws video, which involved all the deaths it's showing in the franchise. So, if you guys have not seen that video yet, the link will be below in the description. So, without further ado, let's get this review started. So, obviously, we are starting with the original Jaws film. Now, Jaws came out in 1975, and it's a cult classic. Let's be honest, people. This is the best, most influential shark movie of all time. And unfortunately, there's so many rip-offs today, and it's just sad how they try to get off this movie. And they try to put cameos in them to try to make us like it and all that, and it just doesn't work. Nothing can come close to how good Jaws was. It's the best film. In my opinion, it's Steven Spielberg's best film. He really didn't think it was going to go that great, but when it was released, it obviously proved them wrong, seeing as how big of a franchise it truly is today. That eventually spawned 3 sequels, as we can see here. So, Jaws is just an amazing film. It had an amazing cast. They shot at the exact right time. They didn't have what we have today, that the rip-offs use, which is the animated sharks that are all 3D sharks. They try to make them look good, and they just can't come close to the shark in this movie. Bruce the shark. You know what? They didn't have that technology back then in the 70s. They freaking made their own animatronic shark. 25 feet, a robot shark, essentially. And let's be honest, people, it's the best looking shark in all the shark movies we've ever seen. It looks good, it functions good, it looks pretty good for a great white shark. It's the best scale looking shark we've seen in a movie today, based off a great white shark. So Jaws, if you have not seen it, leave this video. Thanks for watching. Go check it out. Jaws is a must watch, and it is an incredible film that will span on for the next generations. So go check out Jaws, guys. I would definitely give it a thumbs up, 10 out of 10. This is one of my favorite, if not my favorite films of all time. Great, great movie. Now, guys, we've got Jaws 2. The sequel that took me by surprise, actually, was a really great sequel. So, this one came out 3 years after the 1975 original film did. It came out in 1978, and it actually turned out to be really good. Obviously, Steven Spielberg didn't come back. We've noticed by now that he isn't really a big fan of directing sequels. He likes to start a franchise and then just leaves it to somebody else to buy it for a property. It's great that Universal took advantage of all 4 films, though, at least. I mean, even though some of them may not be amazing, you know, at least it was done by the same company as the original did. And I'm happy to say that at least it did that. And one of the key reasons that this movie is actually so good for a sequel is because they have Roy Scheider in it still. I mean, if they would have completely just completely cut out Roy Scheider's character, Chief Brody, or Martin Brody, or they just had a different actor play him in this movie, I think it wouldn't have done nearly as good as it did in the box office. This movie actually did really great for a sequel. Obviously, many sequels today, especially today, sequels can't come close. They can't surpass their originals. They can't even get close to how good their sequels were. This one went more than halfway as good as the original, in my opinion. This one was a solid sequel. I think it was definitely a must-watch, and it caught me by surprise. And obviously the shark didn't look very good, but the fact that they brought back the original cast was just awesome, even though Roy Scheider was legally inclined to do this film. I truly think this is a great sequel, and you should definitely check it out. Go check out Jaws 2. I give it a solid 8 out of 10. It is definitely a great sequel that is worth seeing, guys. So go check out Jaws 2. Now, Jaws 3, the film that tried too hard, in my opinion. So, Jaws 3 came out in 1983. So, in other words, it came out 5 years. 5 years after the sequel, Jaws 2. And they said, you know what? 3D was super big in the 80s. So, they said, you know what? Let's take Jaws 3, slap a D at the end of that 3, and call it Jaws 3D and release it in 3D. Now, I say, you know what? They tried. I'm going to give them that. They tried, and that's good. You know, this definitely wasn't the best film at all. The effects were pretty bad. The plot was pretty bad. Let's be honest, this is the best looking, not the best. This is the worst looking shark throughout all 4 films. It just looks really bad. You know what? They actually got some pretty good actors in this movie, though. They got, Dennis Quaid, Bess Armstrong, Simon McCorkindale, which rest in peace, by the way, Simon McCorkindale, as well as Roy Scheider. You know what? They had a legacy to lead. And they got Louis Gossett Jr., too, so they had some pretty good actors in this. Their performances, though, were, so-so. They weren't extremely good performances, but like I said, I think they just tried too hard with the 3D element. If they didn't do the 3D and they tried something completely different, it changed something with the movie, who knows, it could have been a pretty good movie, but, it just kind of wrecked it, and I think they tried, they definitely did, but there's a fine line between trying to do a movie and overdoing a movie, and I think this is one of those cases where it definitely did it was a little bit overdone for this movie. So, yeah, that's really all I have to say about Jaws 3, guys. I'm going to give it a side thumb. I'm going to give it a 50%. So, in other words, a 5 out of 10. It's an F. But, you know what? I'm going to watch it because I'm a fan of the Jaws series. So, you know what? If you're a big fan of the Jaws series, watch Jaws 3. But if not, you know what? It wouldn't hurt to skip this one. So, yeah. Now, the final installment in the franchise, Jaws: The Revenge, guys. Here it is. You know what? This movie, this is, in many people's opinion, this is the worst film in the franchise. And I can see why. There are a few pretty big mistakes in this film. But I actually it's one of my guilty pleasures. I actually enjoy this movie a little bit. I'm not saying that this movie is at all one of the best films in the Jaws series at all. I mean, it's not, but I actually kind of like it. You know, they got Michael Caine in this movie, and a lot of people are like, what in the world is he doing in this movie? And a lot of people just don't like this film for various reasons. The way the shark looks, some really dumb mistakes, and I admit there were quite a few dumb mistakes in this movie. Just the overall plot, the way the acting went, the way they killed the shark, I know was the biggest complaint. You know, in the original cut, they stabbed the shark, he bled to death, he took the boat down. In the second cut, which they released in the U.S. officially, just had the shark get stabbed and blown up. And the shark instantly got smaller for some reason. We all saw that. It was really weird. But, you know what? I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10. Now, that is still a D, you guys. That's a D. That's not exactly an A+. That's a D. So, it's kind of within the side thumb, It's kind of below that, but I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10 just because I kind of like it. I'm a big fan of the Jaws series. Obviously, it's not at all realistic. None of these films are realistic, to be honest, but this one's the most unrealistic. You guys all know the plot. I don't need to tell you about the plot. And if you really want to know, there is the summary in the back there. You can pause the video and read that if you want to know for yourself what everybody's talking about in this movie. And now, yeah, I'm just going to give that a 6 out of 10. That's pretty much it for the Jaws series, guys. But there's one more little thing I want to talk about, and that's the fact that, I just found out, I know, you guys are probably thinking, what in the world, but I just found out that they released these films on Blu-ray. Well, obviously we know the original film got released in 2012 on Blu-ray, but all 3 sequels were released on Blu-ray officially this year, I believe on June 4th. And I did not know that. I don't know if I'm going to get them. I don't know if I ever will get them. But for now, these DVDs are just fine. They have everything I need. They have everything I want. So these DVDs are great for the time being. I may get the Blu-rays. I may not. If I will, I'll definitely show a video. But that's about it for my Jaws series and franchise review. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please drop a like, rate, comment, subscribe. I've been gaining subscribers lately. And you know what? You guys rock. You guys are awesome. And peace. I want you to know Jaws series rocks, guys. Thanks for watching so much.